What's up, team? It's Joe Mill here yet again. Killer Miller Q, we back at it again. Today, we're gonna be putting together something special. I got a brand new box in here from Snake River Farms, full of nothing but goodies. We're gonna be kicking this thing off with a little bit of pork spare ribs. I got a special sauce from one of my boys, #1 cowboy fan, my boy Larry over there. Props out to you, appreciate you. We're gonna pop on some of this Mr. B's barbecue sauce. I have already tasted it. I know what it's gonna be. Let's get into these ribs. Yo, what's up, team? We back at this thing. I wanted to give you a new scene. I was tired of looking at that damn wall over there, and I want to see what it looks like today. We're giving you a view of the backyard and being able to see a little something different. With that said, I got my hat on. That way I can actually see what's going on, so you might not be able to see me under here, but promise it's your boy. Don't worry about nothing. You'll be able to tell by the cooking skills. But we in for another cook. Today, like you heard a little bit earlier, we got Snake River Farms pork ribs on deck. I'm going to be pulling out something that I wanted to use a while ago, which was my Kinder's Woodfire garlic seasoning. I've used it on a couple things in the house, some basic cooks, but I wanted to actually do something where I can get it on the grill. I think it's going to be absolutely perfect on these ribs. This is that American caribou pork. Sure, I'm saying that wrong like I've told you before, but hey, that's what it's going to be called today, okay? I've already kind of seasoned this up. The star of the show today is going to be this sauce that I got right here from Mr. B's. I'm going to put a link, and I'll make sure that I kind of light it out there so that you can actually see where you can go to get that. This is one of my personal friends. I tell you what, if I don't tell you nothing else that makes sense, the power of positivity in life is real. Since I've been doing this channel, we going on now about 6 months. I can't even begin to tell you the amount of my old clients that have reached back out, old friends, so on and so forth, and how much love we've been getting from doing nothing but just sharing what I've been doing for years with everybody else. So that's super cool, and it's totally the reason I'm doing this. This is one of my personal friends. He is a #1 cowboy fan, so needless to say, he all right with me. This Mr. B's Sweet Hurricane sauce, I've already tasted it out the bottle. It is sweet, got a nice little smooth kick on the back end. I think it's gonna be absolutely perfect to test out on these Snake River Farm ribs. For that said, I didn't really want to add too much seasoning to it, so I was kind of thinking more going with some all-purpose or something like that. And then I remembered I had this right here, add a little bit of garlic to it, it's got a nice little color. I think we got a winner. So with that said, we looking at the star, which is these ribs. I've already got these babies put together. First thing I need to do is show you how we got here. Right, team. I want to bring you in here. It's early in the morning. We're going to get these babies seasoned up, and I wanted to let you know we are working with my first edition from my snack pack here at Snake River Farms. We're going to be doing some bone-in spare ribs. These babies is cute. They're looking nice and tight. They're not the hugest. I mean, I got a decent-sized hand, FYI. Keep that in mind. But this is already a nice little cute set. I mean, you can tell they've been already cleaned up real nice. They got a lot of good fat on there. These are the American, I'm sure I'm about to say this wrong, the caribou pork. I'm looking forward to trying these out from Snake River Farms and see what they're going to do. So I'm going to try to keep things real simple on these. That way I can really get a chance to not only taste the star of the show, which is going to be my boy's barbecue sauce, but I also want to taste and see what this meat is going to taste like and see if it's a big difference from what I can get at my local butcher or Costco or something like that. So pretty much all I'm going to be doing today is using a rub that I've been wanting to get my hands on and actually do something out here with the grilling, which is another one from Kinder's, this Woodfire garlic, which is almost like an AP with a lot more garlic, got a little bit of color on there. I think it's going to work out to be absolutely perfect on here. Here it is out the package. So like I said, they got a little bit of extra fat on here. I don't really think I'm gonna trim much off of here because I just want to see how they gonna come off. Normally what I would do is maybe take a little bit of this extra fat off right there, and maybe I would get rid of some of this flap so that doesn't just end up burning up. I'll probably still do that because it's so thin and throw that into my little meat pack. But other than that, these things is already done. I can even see that they took off most of the membrane. I can see some right here. If you look close, you can kind of see where it's came over. The easiest thing to do with that is just to go ahead and get you a paper towel. I might even be able to halfway do this one-handed, and then you're just gonna go ahead and pinch that area. There we go. And you see how that's coming back? Basically, that paper towel is gonna allow me to hold that a lot easier, and when I'm holding this thing down, we'll go ahead and pull that right off in one big pull. So I'm gonna get rid of that little bit of membrane that's left on there, and other than that, I'll take off some of these loose little strands of fat. where they can cut from the little flap or whatever. And I'm leaving them just as is. We're gonna season this baby up heavy, respectfully heavy on both sides. And that's it. I'll bring you back. All right, that was easy. Like I said, I'm talking minimal trim on these babies. I want to see exactly what they're going to taste like. So now let's go on in there with this Kinder's wood-fired garlic. And I'm just going to come with a nice little respectful amount. I'm not going to use any binder. I'm doing this a little bit early, so these are about to sit. I'm going to saran wrap these, and then they'll be chilling for about at least 2 to 4 hours, about 4 hours almost, truthfully, before we actually go ahead and come back and get this pit fired up and be having them on. So they should be able to soak in nice. The only thing that we're going to probably do on the back end once we come to pull them out is I'm going to add a little pepper on there just for my bark and texture. I'll let that chill right there. I'll get a couple pats in, and then I'm just going to go ahead and flip these babies right over. Do the same thing on the other side. Nothing crazy. And like I said, we're going to saran wrap these. I decided, you know what, I'm not even going to touch this flat. I'll end up pushing this in nice and tight, try to keep it on there. I don't really want to disturb too much of the way these already came in. I want to see exactly what this pork is tasting like and what it do. I don't want to remove too much of the fat that they already had. I took a little loose corners off and things like that, but other than that, I'm leaving it as is. I want it to be natural, and I want to see what this Mr. B's barbecue sauce tastes like on these ribs. I already fingered it out the bottle, and I know that came out great, so I just want to get the real deal. We're going to leave them just like that. I'm about to saran wrap you, let you see that, and we're putting them back on ice. All right, so now that you've seen that, you know how we got to this point. I'm going to bring you in close because I want to show you why I wanted to use this saran wrap, and specifically what it looks like when it's been more or less laying in something that's like touching on it. I feel like when using this saran wrap, it's almost made it like it was laying in a marinade, where if I would have just wrapped this up with aluminum foil on that same pan, I would have had the juices running off and everything, and you know, you'd have already started that brining type process or whatever. This right here, I feel like everything is soaked in. All my moisture is still into these ribs. Let's get these babies uncovered. We're gonna throw a little bit of black pepper on there. Smoker's already up to temp, and we're gonna get to work. Here we go. Up close and personal. Caribou Snake River Farms pork. We're looking at some good old-fashioned spare ribs. And if you've seen from the beginning, we barely took anything off other than the membrane and some loose hanging fat. And then we pretty much seasoned them up, like I said, and we went right into the saran wrap. We went with this Kinder's, who always does a good job. This wood-fired garlic, which I love, smells great. I can literally smell this outside. And then this is my boy's barbecue sauce right here. I'm gonna bring you in close with Mr. B's Sweet Hurricane. This is like I said, nice and smooth. That's one thing I really respected out of this whole thing, tasting it. It was so smooth, you couldn't tell when the sweet and the heat actually hit. I mean, it just rolled right off the tongue. And I'm gonna make sure that I put links in there so there's something that you can check out. You can find them online. However, I do want to kind of zero in right there, which is gonna let you know my man is out of Orlando, Florida. And then sweethurricaneheat@gmail.com is where you can actually reach out and check them out. I'll make sure I put the website and everything up there so you can check them out. And this is also a veteran-owned company, so you know you gotta respect when we can take care of the vets. But this is good stuff right here. I can't wait to taste the end and finishing product. So let's get there. All I want to do, and I'm just using some general black pepper, nothing crazy. I love me some pepper. I'm not going to lie to you. I just want to hit it with a general, nice and even covering of a little bit of pepper. It'll probably look real pretty. I'm not even going to completely put this glove on. I'm just going to tap on it a little bit. I didn't put any binder or anything. This, you know, my baby had a soccer game this morning, had some runs to make and everything like normal on Saturday. So I pretty much just pulled these out, seasoned them up, and let these babies just sit in there and sweat in their own juices. Let's hit this other side. It's the pretty side. Just a little bit of pepper, and we're gonna let it hang. And we're going straight on the pit. I got it already going. I'm gonna start it off nice and slow and easy so I can get some smoke in here. It's not the biggest rack. Like I said, here go my hand. I got a big hand, but with that said, these have already been trimmed up and they got rid of everything that we don't need. So I'm pretty much gonna try to keep it nice, pretty, and easy. We're gonna kick this thing off at probably about 225, maybe almost 250. Get a little bit of color on here, get some smoke in. I'll wrap them up for a second, get them tender, and we wet them down with some of that Mr. B's. All right, baby, we got these babies on. Like I said, we already sitting pretty much. It's coming right back up to that 250. I'm going with this top rack. And we're gonna let these babies hang out. We'll bring you back in about a minute, or I'm sorry, about an hour, and then maybe I'll get a little spritz in if needed with some apple juice, and we'll go from there. So I got my new wood in. I can't even tell you, even though I liked the oak, this is actually some oak pieces right here. It's so good to get my pecan back. It's weird, you know, now that I'm getting a little more nerdier with it and learning more, I never noticed how clean this wood looks, or maybe I just got a great batch. This pecan wood, I mean, it just looks so perfect. This right here is some of the oak that I had. So you can kind of see what it looks like laying next to it. Just much cleaner overall pieces and lines and solid splits and everything like that. But I always love the way the oak smells and the way that the oak actually burns. So all I'm gonna do now that I got my fire already going, I see you, we'll throw one in here and let it start drying out. And I got a little one that we'll go ahead, throw on top. Uh-oh. And then what I'm gonna do, like always, I'm gonna let that fully catch, get nice and burning before I close this door, so that way we don't get nothing but clean smoke in here on that pretty pork. Okay, we just barely an hour over. Love this Lone Star. I'm just dropping in front of that 250. Other than that, it's been running smooth and steady since you seen me put that first log in. All right, looking good. Looking a little dry. We about to give it a little love right now. Let's come on out a little bit. So I really haven't been in here since. You see we got this one part chilling out over here. I probably should definitely have my glove on. It's a little hot, not too bad. Throw me in another log to dry out. You see now that you done dried it out, it catch on nice and quick. Best time to change you and add you some wood. Check on your meat then. You gotta be open anyway. Let's go. So like always, man, and when you cooking out here, you gotta improvise a little bit. Looking good. I didn't have no apple juice, or the apple juice I had, I didn't like the way it looked. Sometimes buying those giant ones from Costco, you know, the one downfall is you never go through it before they start going funky. So this right here is just a little bit of organic olive oil. Keep it simple. Let it breathe. Only thing I want to do is make sure we don't overly dry out. That'll kind of help protect it a little bit. And the one thing I like about this one, and I normally get it at either Sam's or Costco, but this time I had to order it off of Amazon. This organic version right here, it comes out and is actually pure olive oil. It's not like the compressed looking olive oil that comes out in the aerosol can. That right there is basically a nice fan of good old oil. So now I'm looking nice and pretty. I'm going right back in there and keep getting my color. And just cause I bring you back just to show you why we do it, while we changing everything up and check on the feet. Look how that's burning. We close that up, it's rolling. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. Hey, what's up, team? I want to jump in here real quick and let you know, if you are new to the channel, take a quick second, go to that bottom right corner, make sure that you like, make sure that you subscribe, keep up with everything that's coming up, as well as make sure that you look back on some of those cooks that you've already missed. And for everybody that hasn't already been here, you know that I love and I appreciate you. But also stay tuned. We got a lot of great companies that's been reaching out, want me to do some different things. While I can't take on everything, the things that I know that actually help out the next man or woman, I'll make sure I pass it on, make sure I get y'all the savings on everything too. A lot of good stuff in store. Hold tight. Let's get back to the work. All right. You see where we at. The old testing area, right? We're seeing what the new area look like. All right, man, we've been rolling along. I'm throwing the log in right now, so my temp's a little low. Let's take a peek. We're looking pretty decent. Man, I ain't grabbed my little thing. Let's grab it. We're looking pretty good. I'm almost at about the color I want. I'm not gonna trip too much. But at the same time, I'm gonna baby these ones just a little bit. Some of the stuff you can look for. I see my fat over here starting to look a little yellowish, starting to come out of there. See these little pockets starting to pop up. So I mean, we coming along for sure. Definitely this little thin area that I decided not to cut up. You see why when we would have cut it, that you see it's curling up a little bit. So that's obviously getting a little more done than the rest, but I'm good with that. Like I said, I want to keep this thing pretty natural. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna give it a quick spritz. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes. We've been rolling at 250. We're gonna keep doing that. And what I'm thinking is I'm gonna give about 30 minutes maybe. And I'm about to wrap this thing up. All right, we back. It's 2 hours, 45 minutes. I wanted to take them to 3 hours, but you know, I didn't want to do nothing too wrong to them. At the end of the day, I just got a little bit of this barbecue sauce down my boy with the Mr. B's. From there, we're gonna slide over here and I wanna grab off these ribs. which should be looking good. We've been chugging along at about 250 with that pecan smoke on here. We were doing that 3-2-1 or something like that. I would love to get about 3 hours on here, but I gotta be nice to these. I gotta make sure that we don't do nothing too wrong. So this is what we're looking like right now. Basically, all we're gonna do, and I'm using my griddle spatula to slide these. We're gonna see if we can't make it all the way over. Y'all walk with me. Walk with me, talk with me. Check out that. I bring you in there nice and close. And them pepper flakes always make a difference. You can see a lot of that flat becoming yellow, starting to pop up a little bit. So that let me know we starting to render a little bit, but we still nice and solid. We got plenty of smoke. I'm gonna flip these meat side down onto here, pour a little bit more of this Mr. B's on top, and then we're gonna wrap these babies back up for about an hour. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours and we've been rolling along at 250. Really what I want to do right now, it's only been about a half an hour since I've been wrapped up. I want to see if I got any bend going on, any type of wiggle, even though these are double foil. Normally I go for about an hour. I'm not going to go too long with these because I know for a fact they got a lot more fat in there than the normal ones that I'm used to cooking. So I'm probably going to give it another 15 minutes. We'll pull it up off of here, get a little bit of sauce on it, and give it another half an hour or so, and then we should be ready to rock. Okay, team, we getting this thing rolling. It has been 3 hours and 54 minutes. I'm getting in some little bit of wood, and sure enough, these ribs, I think, are about ready to rock. Sure enough, I done lost a little bit of daylight out here. One thing that's kind of cool is I look back, man, and you probably can't see. I'm back there listening to the dog father. Got my YouTube back there playing, checking out some videos like I normally do on the weekend. We've been rolling along at 250. I open these babies up, and like I told you, I'm babying these. Like I said, they've had about a little over about what, 54 minutes in here in this foil. The bones are starting to pull back. They're not too far, but see, here's the thing. I didn't want to get to the point where they falling all apart before I get them sauced up, because I know for a fact I want to get at least 2 times on this saucing, and I usually let them sit about 15 minutes. So this is what we're gonna do. You got a nice little bit of glaze on there already. And remember, I used that Mr. B's Sweet Hurricane sauce already, so I'm just gonna use that to kind of spread it around. Start off with a little bit of moisture. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hit this backside with a little bit of this fresh Mr. B's, already at room temperature, of course. And then I'm gonna go ahead and flip these peppies over, and I'm gonna let them sit. There we go. There we go. Get some of that up here on this front edge for the people to see. And I'm gonna let these babies sit for about 15 minutes, and I'm gonna hit them one more time just like this, and we getting these babies up off of here while they nice and pretty. That's what I'm talking about. Let me flip these things over. I'm gonna show you what's going on. All right, give me a flip in. Now let's get this top side coated. If I can do this thing one-handed without making too much of a mess. We got that Mr. B Sweet Hurricane going on right here. I'm gonna try not to make sure I don't get rid of too much of my pepper. I'm gonna get this a nice even coat, and I'll see you back in about 15. Okay, let's get this second layer on here. A little over 3. Ooh, wait, look at these. Let me get this smoke up out of here, man. I swear, we in the middle of the night, so you're not gonna actually get, you're not gonna actually get, you see how dark it is out here in my yard? My girl sitting over there. You don't actually get the true color, but you can see these babies is pretty. I don't even know if I necessarily need another lop. I'm gonna let these babies sit just like they are. I'll come back in about 15 minutes, hit them one more time, and I'm pulling them. All right, we at 4:56. Do I need to tell you that these babies is done? I never did hit them with the second time. They look absolutely perfect. In my mind, I said I'm gonna hit them with one more saucing while they sitting there and resting. I damn near don't want to. I will just cuz, but needless to say, let's get these babies off the pit. All right. You see what we got going on right here. Big shout out to my man Larry over there with Mr. B's Sweet Hurricane Barbecue, as you see right here. That sauce kind of laid on there, absolutely perfect, along with that Kinder's wood-fired garlic. We about to dive into these things right now, but as you can see, man, we came out all right. All right, so we're gonna try to see if we can't make a respectful cut into this thing. Let's see what we got here on these ribs. Needless to say, the blend came out absolutely perfect. This Sweet Hurricane Mr. B barbecue sauce, I think it was gonna be an absolutely winner. So what I'm gonna do, because I normally go ahead and tear up my bones, I'm gonna flip this baby over so I can kind of see what's going on. Let's see if we can get some good cuts. Right there. There. Oh yeah, it's cutting clean. And then we're gonna flip it back over and we're gonna get us a taste. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna take this little end piece right here with all this good bark on it, and we're gonna see what we're doing. First and foremost, we got a nice looking smoke ring up in there. Everything's nice and pretty. Mr. B, let's see what you got. That's candy. Even off that edge piece, you see we got us a nice smoke bite, or a nice smooth bite. Just like I thought. It's smooth, easy, got a little heat on the back end. I like this Kinder's on here. I can still taste that little bit of garlic. That's a winner. At the end of the day, we're gonna enjoy this thing. Make sure I tell everybody Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my mother. Happy Mother's Day to Mother Killer Miller. And other than that, all the rest of y'all out there, I appreciate y'all, love y'all. Until the next week, peace.